Okay. Hello, my name is Sergeant Michael Kenrick, and I am here to say that we should not abolish slave trade. Slavery is even accepted by Christians. The slave trade has been the brick that holds our society together. If we abolish it, we would be diminishing our resources. We should not be making these hasty decisions and realize the real effects of what this will do. The Middle Passage is how we get our resources. Abolishing the slave trade will destroy that process. The Middle Passage is the transport of goods. We Europeans go to Africa to get slaves and then bring them to the plantations in the Americas. Then the goods produced go to Europe and are traded with the African traders in Africa. Do you really want to upset the system? Everyone benefits from the system. Africa gets rid of their criminals by selling them into slavery and also get produced by their people. We get the resources the Africans produce and use it to fuel our country. I am not saying the way Africans are treated on the journey to the Americas is morally right. But some stories are not true. It is just a ruse. Who knows if the Africans are just making all this up to get out of working? Why should we abolish slavery over something that might not even be true? Our country being weakened would be a good thing for them to try to invade. Africans should already be used to the brutality needed to keep control, since Africa was already in slavery before. Being in the Americas benefits the Africans because it is a new place, a new start, a new life. It can only be bad as you make it. Slavery cannot be all that bad, even if God had slaves. Revelation 10:7. When the seventh angel blows his trumpet, God's mysterious plan will be fulfilled. It will happen just as he announces it to his servants, the prophets. This scripture is saying that God's plan will happen as soon as he announces it to his servants. Christians accepted slavery based off the Bible. In the Bible, many slaves were Hebrews and were treated around the same as the Africans are treated now. If God allowed these conditions to happen, why should we try to abolish such a beneficial thing to society? Philippians 2:7. Instead, he gave up his divine privileges. He took the humble position of a slave and was born as a human being. When he appeared in a human form, God was even willing to send his only son in the world as a slave. By abolishing the slave trade, I am not being a racist. Doing this, it will cause our nation to lose control and debilitate. Do you really want this to happen to our country? Community at large may not be deluded in nasty conclusions, which may be the occasion of overturning one great force. We should take advantage of having slaves and use them as a great source of a strong nation. If the slave trade is abolished, it will surely weaken our nation. Dismemberment seemed to them effectually to weaken our power and diminish our resources. To conclude, abolishing the slave trade will be going against God's will and the end of the system trade through the Middle Passage. It will cause more problems for our nation to face. We may lose our resources and even weaken our country by doing so. Abolishing the slave trade will be a regrettable choice.